Hey everyone, good morning. This will be the fourth video, and I've somewhat have a broad outline of what I'm going to cover for topics. And these first few videos, obviously, as you can tell, aren't a detailed analysis, meaning I'm not walking you through physically and showing you every single item as I approach it. This is more the next few videos, and the two videos that I've done were more of a conversation, a one-way conversation, but it was a conversation about how I approach things. And there's a consistent overall message that, as organized as I need to be, helps me concentrate on hunting and safety and ethics while I'm in the woods. So the more organized I am, I feel that I'm safer because I can concentrate on things I need to concentrate on while I'm in the woods. It's not any fun thinking about or worrying about certain things as you approach hunting. So this will be the overall theme. So my second video that I showed, I talked about my clothes prep after the season. I talked about how I approach it, the small investments that I make to make sure that when the next season rolls around, I'm somewhat ready to go in terms of I'll have all my clothes centralized. Hopefully they'll be somewhat scent free and they'll be somewhat maintained. My third video was very brief, and I'll probably circle back and talk about that in more detail. It was pretty much recommending a book to beginners or intermediates that I found to be extremely informative, that brings in the big picture, which will help everyone understand whitetails and so forth. So this video is going to be a brief conversation on how I approach my gun and hunting. Now, I'm not going to talk about setting in the rifle. So that's a whole new video. That's something that you probably need to take ownership of and maybe talk to people about. There are shortcuts to sighting in your rifle, which I use, but I can't discuss today because it's more of a visual type of thing. But my conversation is about preparing the rifle for sight and scent. So basically what I'm talking about is my rifle, for example, has a scope on it and has a strap on it. Obviously you clean it too, so sight and scent. So basically when you let's talk about the strap first. The strap, if it's leather or fabric, it's going to retain scent either through its manufactured purpose or the actual material, like for example if it's leather, or it might retain some moisture and some scent with it, like coffee or gun oil or anything like that, gun cleaner. All those things really retain in the strap, so you got to think about those things. I would suggest if you have a leather strap, get something different if you can. Just understand that the leather strap has a strong odor, and it's not like you can treat it very often. You probably ruin the leather, to be honest with you. So think about that. Leather is tough and strong and durable and somewhat attractive, but for a functional purpose, you might want to think about another alternative to that. Or just put it off to the side for hunting season. So what I do personally is I treat my strap like clothing if I can. Sometimes it only means spraying it down with some solution from like Dead Downwind or the other manufacturers. And the next thing, the strap is connected to the gun by these little swivels, they call them, and those can be, when it's cold out, or if you hunt in days where there's a lot of moisture, can start to squeak after a while. You want to think about that strategically. You probably want to use some unscented gun oil that's out in the market. You don't want to look in your unscented soap area to find that. And that's something I use. And then think about your scope. Make sure your scope is clear of debris. Make sure it's clean. Make sure the receptacle is working. I've lost deer because I forgot to clean my scope. And when you put a sock on your gun, or if you put it in a container that has some sort of fabric or cushion, believe it or not, there's buildup. Even in the woods, they'll have debris get into your receptacle, so keep that clear. The other things is there any points on your gun that makes noise other than the swivel. And in mine I have a semi-automatic, and where my breech is, there's a little lever there that I pull back on that actually has some play in it and it makes a noise. That's something that I always have to be conscious of. There's no real fix to that, in my opinion, unless, you know, I'm a gunsmith, which I'm not, so I pretty much always have to think about that. So you want to think about that in the woods. So when you grab it, how does it make noise? Like, for example, I kind of know what noise it makes if I grab it and I twist it, or if I touch it in that certain way where the little play is. So it's something to think about. Always be conscious of your noise and your scent. And that's pretty much it. You know, just worry about your receptacles on your scope. Worry about the gun itself making noise other than the swivels. Make sure the swivels are lubricated. Make sure your strap is scent-free as possible. I sometimes use a wafer, and I'll attach it to my strap. And I usually, historically, used earth scent, but now I kind of am going down the road of using a cover scent, such as like acorns. There's an acorn wafer that I actually attach to it. And the reason why is, if you're going to have a cover scent, might as well, or a light cover scent, you might as well use some sort of food product and not necessarily something that would just completely blend in. So early season I might use the acorn scent, and then late season I might use the dirt scent, because acorns are pretty much gone by the end of the season. So that's pretty much it. I just want to give you an idea of what I'm doing in the next few videos, and why the first two videos were kind of general, and this one's going to be general, and a few more are going to be general, and then I'm going to get into more specifics, and hopefully that will help people that are intermediate understand what I do, and maybe they'll adopt that as well. So again, just one more time, the reason why I'm doing this is just to give you a high-level conversation, so when I get into the particulars, you'll understand where I'm coming from and not be very confused, because the next few subjects are going to be very, from that perspective, you might not get it unless you look at this video. And I'll try to address that in the video, but it's all about safety and ethics, so preparation is the key, in my opinion. Knowing your rules is the other thing. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.
Pushing on the forest floor, my heart rate jumps even more. Looking for the bot to fill my tag, straight out of a hunting bag. Drop time 14, making his way down. It's time for his last showdown. Breathe in, breathe out, hold it, fire away.